What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's been a little bit since I've seen you guys, but welcome back to my witchy world. Alright, you guys, so the whole point of this video is to take all of those unboxing videos that we did for the month and rate them. I want to let you know which ones are worth the money, which ones are going to help you as a beginner, and which ones are kind of like a flop, you know? Again, I did pay for all of these boxes with all of my own money. And I do anticipate being able to do that for the next 2 months, so 3 months in total for each box. That way I can, like, maybe one box this month was like epic. They've included a whole bunch of stuff in there that maybe they typically don't include in there, and you know, it kind of throws you off because you think, wow, this is the best box ever, but then the next month you're like, oh, there isn't a whole lot in here. All right. Like, so that's why I want to do at least a couple of months and then let you know that this box is my favorite. These are the ones I think you should go with, but we're gonna kind of do like a monthly favorites of these boxes to kind of help simplify things. It's one thing to go and look at all of these different unboxings on everybody's channels and get different opinions and things like that. It's another to sit there and have somebody tell you, yes, buy this box. Save your money on this box. There's better boxes out there. So I'm gonna try and like scoot over and have like a list going on here, but my editing skills aren't that great. So if I can figure out how to put it on the screen, I will. If not, I will put it in the description box below. That way it's all written out for you and everything like that, and we'll just discuss it in the video. I do have everything written down, so if you see me look down a lot, that's why. Let's jump into this video. Alright, you guys, so for the month of November, I did 5 boxes, 5 different boxes, 4 different companies, because I got two different boxes from the same company. So we're going to start off with pricing first, and we're going to rate them like 1 through 5, 1 being the best or the cheapest or whatever, and then 5 being like, little expensive, didn't like the products, whatever. So 1 is good, 5 is not bad, but maybe needs some work. Maybe it's not the best. So the first box is the Box of Shadows. That price was $44.99 a month plus $8 in shipping. Not a bad price, not a bad price at all. So that is number 1. After that, we have 2 boxes that were the same price. So we have the Sacred Space Crate, which was $54, and that $54 included the shipping. And then we have the Witch's Moon, which was $54, and that also included the shipping, which is very nice. And next up after that was the Sacred Isium, the Sabbat's box, so the highest tier that they had to offer. That was $75 plus $8 in shipping. And then we had the Witch's Bounty, which was $78, and that includes the shipping. To be honest with you, as far as the pricing goes, I mean, it's, you know, it's ranging from you know, under $50 to close to $80, and you would think, like, why the hell would you ever spend close to $80 on a freaking subscription box? But the pricing is higher because of the items in the box are higher. When you get pieces of jewelry, that increases the price of the box. So, and that's the case with the Witch's Bounty, which is the highest box on here. It includes every month a pendant, like a piece of jewelry. That is the whole point of the box. And then they throw some other things in there, like oils and incense and whatever that goes along with it, whatever you need to bless the pendant. So yeah, so don't get too lost in the pricing. Some of them are actually really great for the value, like for the money. But if you are on a budget, I wanted to give that to you so you knew the pricing of everything. Now, as far as each box and the amount of products that came in the box, they all kind of come with the same type of products. They all include candles, they all include crystals, they all include the herbs, they all include forms of like talismans and jewelry and things like that, incense, altar tools, you know, pendants. Some of them said that they had a certain amount of items in the box, and some of them just listed what could potentially be in the box. So the Witch's Moon said, did not give a certain amount. It just said candles, crystals, herbs, talismans, incense, altar tools. The Witch's Bounty obviously comes with the pendant. That's number one. Also a crystal that goes along with the pendant. An oil and other items may vary is what they said. So I think it depends on the pricing of the box. They probably have a set pricing limit that they want to include in the box, and then they kind of work around the pendant. Sacred Isium is very cool because they actually stated that in the Sabbat box, they include 8 to 10 items per month of the same stuff. So candles, crystals, herbs, talismans, incense, altar tools, you know, things like that. The Book of Shadows doesn't say how many, just that it tailors to follow the Esbats, the Sabbats, astrological occurrences, etc., etc. So it tells you that it's going to include items that are going to cater to certain things that are happening in that month. It's pretty vague, to be honest with you. It's not telling you what they're going to include or what you should expect. So you kind of are going into that box a little bit blind. One month you could get 3 products. The next month you could get 10. It's kind of, I don't know, it's not very full of information. When I opened it, it had a decent amount of products in it. It had, I think, 5, 6, somewhere around there. I don't know. I'll link the videos somewhere on here, down in the description, whatever, so that you can take a look at the boxes for yourself and make your own decisions. But it did have a nice amount of products in it regardless. It just doesn't say... They're kind of like covering their butts in this. It's not giving you, it's telling you like, oh, we're going to cater them towards certain things, but we're not going to tell you how many products we're going to put in there, because maybe it'll vary from month to month. So just some food for thought. And then the Sacred Space Crate says the same thing. It does not give specific numbers. It just says that it'll include altar items, candles, monthly spells, things to go with the monthly spell, a stone or a crystal, and or a pendant, a calendar, a smudge incense, 2 beauty items, oil, and more. So actually, now that I'm reading this, they are telling you exactly what you're going to get in your box. So they will give you an altar item, because this is everything I got in my box. They're going to give you an altar item. They're going to give you candles. They give you a monthly spell and things to go with it. They give you a stone or a crystal or a pendant. They give you that calendar, which was so helpful for this month. They give you the smudge. They give you the incense. They do give you 2 beauty items. They give you the oil, and then it says more after that. So they may include just those items, or they may include more than that. So I kind of like that they were like, here's what you're gonna get, and you know everything you're gonna get in the box without actually knowing exactly what it is. And I think that's kind of fun, because then you know what your money is going towards, instead of sitting there being like, you're gonna get stuff for this, but we're not gonna tell you how many things, or if it's you know, gonna be, if you're gonna get what you pay for type stuff. So I do like that they've really included a detailed description of what you get in the box. So if I had to rate the amount of products from 1 through 5, 1 being the best, the description of what you get basically, I would probably say Sacred Space Crate is number 1. Sacred Izium, I would say, is probably number 2 because they give you all the information on the products, what you're going to get, and then they tell you exactly how many items you're going to get, so 8 to 10 items. After that, we have the Witch's Moon at number 3, the Witch's Bounty at number 3, 4, because they word it all the same for, it's the same company, so they're probably, Witch's Moon, Witch's Bounty is number 3. And then number 4, or the last number, would probably be the Box of Shadows, because there really wasn't any detail there. All right, so on to themes of boxes. I don't know how you guys feel about themes, if you care that there's a theme for the box, if you don't care, whatever. I wanted to include this anyway because I thought it was really cool that some of them did have the themes. Let's start with the theme of the Witch's Moon. It was called A Witch's Journey. Now I will tell you, everything in that box went along with this theme perfectly. It was perfect for me because I am just starting out on my witch's journey, so it really helped me kind of continue with it and know where I was going. The box was super helpful. It was super detailed. Everything went with the theme, so I thought that was really good. Same thing goes for the Witch's Bounty. The theme was Ouroboros, so Ouroboros. Again, the Witch's Bounty, it went perfectly with the theme. The pendant was literally the symbol of the Ouroboros, and everything that came with it. I believe it came with an oil. I believe it came with a crystal, which was, I carry that thing on me every single day. It was beautiful. Everything that came with it, it was meant to do a blessing for the pendant, which we'll get into. But everything went with it. It was perfect. The Sacred Space Crate, the theme was Book of Shadows. Again, every item in the box went along perfect with the theme. And I mean, the theme was Book of Shadows. They gave you a Book of Shadows. And everything that kind of went along with it kind of pertained to that theme. There was a bookmarker. There was just a bunch of things that you would need for the Book of Shadows blessing. That was really their thing. And then they included some other things that didn't have to do with well, they do, but like they included runes and the witch's alphabet and all that stuff, which didn't necessarily have to do with blessing the Book of Shadows, but it had to do with putting these pages in your Book of Shadows. So the Box of Shadows subscription box. Honestly, I couldn't actually find a theme on the box. The letter that they give you is set up like a... So I was raised Christian, I was raised Catholic, and when you go to a Catholic church, they give you like this little like pamphlet, I guess, and it's got like, I don't know, like different articles in the pamphlet. I don't know, it reminded me of like a church pamphlet. And basically it had like, so the Box of Shadows had an article in the beginning that I don't know, like that said one thing, and then it went into like another article, and then you flip it over and there's like a random ritual for a pentagram blessing or something like that. And then there was information on the Hydron route, which was something that they had included in the box, but that was the only part that had information on the items in the box. And then I think that was it. I don't know, I might be missing something, but basically there was no clear theme, at least to me. Now, I know it sounds at this point like I am bashing this box. I am not. This box included a lot of great, useful things. It had like a smudge stick in it of sage. It had the Hyjon root, which I went on and I Googled and I looked up, and it actually, I tried looking up more information about it, but the article that was included on the page included all the information I found anyway, so there was plenty of information on it. So I'm not like, there, I think there was like a, I think there was a bracelet in that. Everything was beautiful in this box. So I'm not saying don't buy this box. I am just purposefully looking at things from a beginner's perspective. That is my job here. That is what I choose to do here for you guys. People that don't necessarily know what a sage stick is for, or maybe they're like, maybe they do know what a sage stick is for, but they don't know what blue sage is versus white sage versus whatever, which is someone like me. I don't know if there's a difference between the different sages. So to include a little bit of information on that, or have a theme telling me exactly how to use what you just gave me in the box, would be helpful. And then last but not least was the Sacred Isium box. Now that one, the theme was the magical home. And again, it was perfect. Everything in the box had to do with helping the magical home. It gave you a ritual on it. It even gave us that creepy tree with the eyes on it, and it explained to you in detail that you're supposed to put the tree on the wall opposite of your front door for protection. And it was just, they gave you, I think it was frankincense, the frankincense tears, which are again made to help clear out the home. I think that was in that box. I did so many boxes, so if I screw up the products that were in the box, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure those were in that box. But everything in the box had to do with clearing out the home. And to be honest with you, that box was the first box that I had taken everything in it and used it immediately to clear out my home. I think I even say in that video that I'm like, I sage my home all of the time. This place is my sacred place. I come here in my home and I want it to be a place of peace and you know, tranquility, and I just want it to feel safe and cozy. So I make sure that I cleanse it pretty regularly. So that was actually the only box that I like real quick jumped into and used almost everything in it. With that being said, I did use every single box, but that one was the one where I used like the actual contents to do the full-on ritualistic part of it. Not to say that I won't do the other rituals or anything like that, but personal issues, personal life, things like that got in the way. So I do plan and anticipate on using them. I just haven't gotten the chance. The magical home actually kind of went along with what I was dealing with, so that's why I used it. So if I had to rate the themes, and we're not rating the idea of the themes and which theme I thought was better, we're rating the boxes and how they pertained to the theme, like if they included everything, or how detailed was everything to the theme, basically. And that would be, so number one would be the Sacred Space crate with their Book of Shadows theme. Everything in that box went along with the Book of Shadows. Nothing varied from it. The next one I would say would probably be Sacred Isium would be number two. The Magical Home theme. Again, like I said earlier, I just dove right into that box and I really loved the theme. 3 and 4 would probably be the Witch's Moon and the Witch's Bounty. You can flip-flop them. They were both equally as good. That particular subscription box, they know what they're doing. So yeah, they were very, very good. And then number 5 would be the Book of Shadows. And like I said, I'm not picking on this box. There just wasn't a clear theme. It's that simple, really. So next topic I want to talk about is, did it include a ritual? I feel like that's super important for beginners who maybe they don't know how to put together their own spells. Maybe they're nervous too. Maybe they want some guidance. I don't know. Me personally, I don't think I'd be able to like sit down and just formulate a ritual. I don't think I could do that right now. I'm not experienced enough. I'm not confident enough. And that's the key, is that if it includes a ritual, it gives us that confidence, like this is going to work. And I think it's really important that for a beginner that these boxes have rituals. Even for people that have been doing this for years, I mean, it's nice to include a ritual with the box, because then it shows what your intention was on giving us that box for that month. Now, is everybody going to use the items in the box for that specific ritual? Maybe not, especially for people that are experienced. They might get that stuff and be like, I don't need that ritual. I can use this stuff for other stuff that I have ideas for, or whatever. Maybe the ritual doesn't pertain to something that you need done in your life, but I don't know, it's nice to include it because maybe it does. Sometimes I get these boxes and I'm like, did they know? Did they read my mind? Did they know that I was gonna need this box? Because that's what it feels like right now. So sometimes it does pertain to people's lives and they want to use everything in the box. That's what happened when I got the Sacred Isium? Yeah, the Sacred Isium box, the magical home. I needed that. It was like they read my mind and they sent me everything that I needed, and it was beautiful. I loved it. So I don't know, I kind of like the fact that I feel that they need to include some sort of ritual in them. Now, before I rate them, because I really don't think that this section needs a rating, every single one of them had a ritual in it. So check. All 5 boxes had a ritual in it, which is fantastic. Now, as far as the rituals are concerned, did they have to do with the theme of the box? That is what I want to know. Because if they didn't, then what's the point of including them? That's how I feel. So, every box had a ritual in it. The ritual for the Witch's Moon was the Sunless Sea incantation. That was a incantation to, I'm trying to formulate the words in my head, to help guide you to the spirit world, basically. And that was very heavily in the theme of the box. That was kind of the whole point of the box, was traveling to the spirit world. Everything included in that box was meant to help elevate you into that realm and journey into that realm, which was the theme of the box, the witch's journey. So yes, it pertained to the theme. Everything in the box pertained to that ritual. You could use it for that ritual. So it was the perfect ritual for the box. The Witch's Bounty. Yes, it included a ritual thing. Was it like this big special, like elaborate ritual? No, it was super simple. And basically the ritual was anointing the pendant that they just gave you, which I thought was very simple. Like in a good way though. Very simple, very to the point. Here's what you need, here's what you do, and that's it. So I liked it. I liked that it was like, hey, here's your pendant, here's how to anoint it, and then that's it. There you go. So I thought that was really cool and very, very to the point. Sacred Isium. Yes, it included a ritual, and it was a ritual for blessing the home, which again goes perfect with the theme of the box, which was the magical home. So it was all about the home and blessing the home. So the ritual went along perfect. Everything was included for that ritual. Super simple, to the point. Yes, it was perfect. The Box of Shadows. Yes, it had a ritual in it. It was the pentagram manifestation. I read over this ritual, and from the items that it required for the ritual, I don't think any of them were included in the box. Hold on. All right, you guys, so I actually grabbed the paperwork with the ritual on it because I didn't want to misquote anything or say anything that wasn't true and get my head bitten off. So yeah, so in the section that says what you will need, it says you need a pentacle, any form, a piece of paper, and a pen. That's it. Everything else in the box, like the dragon's blood resin incense, the high john root, none of it pertained, nothing. They did not include a pentacle in this box. They obviously didn't include a pen and a piece of paper. I'm not sure if they included a piece of paper or not. I know I did get a little piece of paper, but I don't remember what box it was from. It could have potentially been this box. Yeah, so it doesn't say that you need any candles or anything like that, and it did include candles. So the ritual had nothing to do with any of the items in the box. Like at all. It was just like a random, oh, let's throw this ritual in here, but none of the items have to do with any of it. At least from a beginner's perspective, that's what I saw. So I was a little disappointed with that ritual. The fact that it literally didn't supply me with anything that was meant for that ritual. Like, it didn't make any of the products that they gave me useful in the ritual. I mean, it tells you place your pentacle in the center of the altar or working space. Make sure the space will not be disturbed by passers-by. Place an object that symbolizes who this working is for, what is being manifested, where this working will manifest, when this goal needs to be accomplished, why the person deserves the manifestation. When you're finished, focus on the manifestation pentagram while repeating your sentence of desire. Do this 3 times. It will infuse your drawing with the energy of your intent. Leave the pentagram where you can see it every day. Like nothing. It doesn't include anything about incense or oil or anything that we had gotten in that box. None whatsoever. So do with that information what you wish. That is my take on it. And the last box, Sacred Space Crate. Their theme was the Book of Shadows. The theme, like I had mentioned earlier, was fantastic. It was one of my favorites. The ritual that comes with it was the Book of Shadows blessing. So yes, it did go along with the theme, along with everything in the box. And then everything that was in the box, it pertained to the ritual. You were supposed to use it for the ritual of the blessing of the Book of Shadows. So yes, the ritual went along with it. Again, boom, to the point. The next thing I want to talk about is the packaging, on how everything came to me in the mail. Every box here came unmarked, so nobody knew what I was getting. If you're still in the broom closet, obviously I'm not, I'm on YouTube. Can't be in the broom closet when you're putting it on the internet. So I didn't really care if it showed up at my doorstep with witchy stuff all over it. I mean, we're almost at December at this point, and I still have a sign outside that says the witch is out. I have my little, it's just a bunch of hocus pocus mat, like the welcome mat basically, that's outside of my door. It's a quote from Hocus Pocus. Everybody and their dogs know that I'm a witch or aspiring witch. So yeah, I really don't care. If you're gonna judge me off of it, go ahead, judge me. What are you gonna do? You know, you're like, sticks and stones may break my bones, you know, but it doesn't matter to me. That's the point. But for people that are still in the broom closet, it's really nice, because there are people out there that will literally, they'll crucify you for this, and they don't understand it. I mean, I watch videos on YouTube all the time of kids who do like these like ghost hunting things, and they talk about witches like they're evil freaking people. One video specifically, I saw them comment, they came into contact who was somebody who was a practicing Wiccan and made her out to be like this weirdo, this evil person. And these kids, they're kids, they're like 22, 23 years old. So I don't expect anything different than that. And they're also trying to get ratings on their videos, because their whole point is to scare people. That's why they're doing the ghost hunting. But knowledge is power, and in that instance they had an opportunity to set the facts straight, and they didn't. They added to it. So that is the problem with the world. People are not people are not accepting of things they don't know about, but yet nobody wants to take the time to learn. So for those of you that are still in the broom closet, you could get any of these boxes and nobody's gonna know what's inside. As far as the Witch's Moon and the Witch's Bounty, they've been doing this for a long time, so they know what they're doing as far as packaging. The Witch's Moon came in their box that had their logo in it, and then that box was put into another box with no markings on it. Solid packaging. When you open up the Witch's Moon, everything was bubble wrapped. Everything was packaged correctly. The incense was in a Ziploc bag with a label on it, which was great, because I'm pretty sure that's not something that they used to do. So they listened to us on the packaging of that, and they corrected it. Their oils come in a screwed cap bottle. It came in a dark bottle, and I remember saying in the video that I wish it didn't come in the dark bottle so I could see all the lovely stuff in there. But I realized, or actually I was told by one of my lovely subscribers, that the reason that it's like that is because it keeps the sunlight out, and the sunlight could potentially destroy the oil or something like that, so that there was a purpose for the dark bottle. So I thought that was really good, because all of that was thought out. Yeah, everything was just, it was either wrapped in tissue paper or it was wrapped in bubble wrap. Everything was secure. Everything was great. It came with the little squiggly paper, which I love that touch. That could be disposed of. That could be like burned in a fire, no waste, anything like that. Bubble wrap's great. My son loves to play with the bubble wrap, so it gets two uses out of it. But is it environmentally friendly? Not really, no. Do I blame them for using it though? No, not really, because I don't want to be the owner of a company and people are constantly coming to me saying that things broke or anything like that. So I get why they used it. I thought it was great packaging. I thought everything was packaged very, very well. Sacred Isium, they again did the bubble wrap and the little squiggly papers. I love that. I think it's a fun little touch to basically dress up the packaging of it a little bit more. The only thing I did not like from Sacred Isium was the packaging of their oil. So this is the oil from Sacred Isium. Beautiful label on it and everything. It's called Blessing Oil. There is a little, I mean, you can see all the little goodies in there. It's beautiful. The little ribbon, it looks like a potion bottle. It's great. Here's the thing though. They had to put this bottle in a baggie to prevent it from leaking all over their stuff. So they know that the bottle leaks and they threw it in a bag to prevent it when they could just remedy the situation by putting it in a different bottle. Like I said in the video, if you go watch the video on their unboxing, I get that they're trying to go for a very witchy aesthetic with this, but sometimes that's not as important as practicality. So I just don't think their packaging is practical. I think it's beautiful and I do plan on using it, but I will tell you, once you take this cork is super easy to take off, you guys. So, I mean, I can literally just, right here, on camera. Oh, it smells so good. It smells really good. And then you put it back. But God forbid this falls over, it's gonna get all over everything. It's actually all over my hands and it's been sitting out. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. You can't see the oil in there, but it's just not a practical packaging and I wish they would change it. But other than that, that was the only negative about their packaging. Instead of using the bottles and having to put the bottle in the bag and letting it leak all over inside of the bag to get all over the bottle, just change the bottle and then you shouldn't have any more issues with that. So then the box of shadows, this one actually I really liked. So the box of shadows actually included a little card that said that they were eco-friendly. So there was going to be a minimum of packaging because they were trying to be eco-friendly. There was, I'm pretty sure there was no bubble wrap. Everything was wrapped in like a tissue paper. There were no squigglies or anything like that. I'm pretty sure things were just wrapped in the tissue paper. They do also tell you at the bottom, like, hey, make sure you get this box ASAP or as soon as possible so that you can ensure that heat does not destroy the candles or anything like that. I thought that was really cool, and yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just very eco-friendly, and the fact that they went out of their way to explain to you, hey, we're eco-friendly, so don't bust on us for the packaging. I thought that was really good. And then the last box was the Sacred Space Crate. Very little to no plastic at all, and nothing. There wasn't really anything I think maybe 1 or 2 items were wrapped in bubble wrap. There was very little wrapped in bubble wrap, but the things that were necessary to wrap in bubble wrap, they wrapped in bubble wrap. Like, I think they had an oil that was wrapped in bubble wrap, or the hair growth serum that they had. I think that was wrapped in bubble wrap, if I'm not mistaken. I did unbox these in the beginning of the month. It's been a little bit, so if the information's not correct, that's why. It's because it was so long ago. And I have a horrible memory. All right, you guys. So that's, I feel like that covers enough of the information to help you decide which box maybe you want to try out first. But if you potentially want to know All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, right? Right over here, or maybe down below, I'm gonna give you 2 full ratings based on everything that we just discussed. So I'm gonna give you a rating on what boxes that I would buy first, my personal opinion. And then the second rating, 1 through 5, would be based off of the information that we just went over. So my favorite boxes in order, and then we're gonna do the ones that, based off of the information alone, I think would be the best for you to start off with. So for my favorites, my ratings would be, so my favorite box out of this entire month was the Sacred Space Crate box. The theme was the Book of Shadows, and I was like in a state of shock when I opened that box. It was beautiful. It came with the Book of Shadows. It came with a quill pen. It came with spell ink and a bunch of other stuff that was just truly, truly beautiful. So beautiful. I loved that box so much. Now, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my favorite items from each box. So, this, by far, was my favorite item from that box. This was the actual Book of Shadows from that box. And I already did start putting things in here. So I don't want to show you too much, but I will show you the first page. This was the sheet, the Book of Shadows blessing that came with it. Beautiful artwork. Yeah, and it's just a very beautiful parchment-filled, very thick paper book. And I absolutely love and adore this book, and I can't wait to put more stuff in it. It also has, I also used the little bookmark that came with it. It was also in the November box as well. It was just a really great box. It was my favorite box. It was the first box that I had gotten of that month, and I will tell you that every box after, it just didn't compare. Like, my excitement level just did not compare to when I had received this box. I don't know if the Sacred Space Crate box that I got for the month of November includes all of those fancy filled items every single month. That's why I want to kind of get multiple boxes before I give the ultimate decision, but it was my favorite box for this month. It was just truly beautiful. It was just a jaw-droppingly awesome box. The number 2 on my list would have to be, and this is a very hard decision. It's so hard. So I'm gonna have to go with Sacred Isium for number 2 on my favorites. That box was the Magical Home box, and like I stated earlier, I used everything in that box basically the second I was done filming the unboxing video. I loved that box. It touched a nerve for me. It was definitely everything that I needed right then and there. Now, my favorite item from that box was the Mortar and Pestle. This thing is very tiny, but super heavy. It's like, it looks like a hand-carved, I'm trying to block my face out there, hand-carved pentagram on it, and it's just super beautiful. And it worked great when I used it, so there's still some leftover residue in there, but yeah, so that was my favorite item from that box. Number 3 on my list of favorites would have to be the Witch's Bounty. The Ouroboros theme. I wear that pendant. So this pendant, I wear it every single day. Every day. I only took it off today so that I could use it for the video. I just think it's beautiful. I bought this chain. So this is a 40-inch long chain that I got off of Amazon, and it works great. It hangs really low and it looks beautiful, and I get compliments on it all of the time. So that was my favorite item, my third favorite box. After that was the Witch's Moon. They had A Witch's Journey. That was my favorite, number 4. So my favorite item from this month's Witch's Moon box, the theme being A Witch's Journey, was this guy. I don't know if you can see that, but little tiny little baby piece of moldavite. Again, this stone is supposed to be one that helps you transition from this world to the spirit realm. It helps you reach those higher realms. That's the word I'm looking for. But it was just beautiful. And if you haven't already checked out my video on my spooky encounter, it is actually involving this stone. So as soon as I had gotten this stone, I had something happen. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. The reason I'm asking people to check it out is because I like advice. This type of situation has never happened to me before, and I feel like it's happening more and more frequently now, and I'm not used to it. So I wanted to be able to talk to people that have experienced it and get advice. So that, my loves, leaves us at my 5th favorite box. So 1 was the Sacred Space Crate, 2 was Sacred Isium, 3 was the Witch's Moon, 4 was the Witch's Bounty, and that leaves us with 5 being the Box of Shadows. Now, this was my least favorite box, not because of the contents that were in the box, ladies and gentlemen. It was because of the lack of information. I couldn't really learn much. I couldn't really use the things in the box for a ritual. Yeah, it was kind of a struggle to figure out what to do with the contents of the box. Now, the items in the box itself were fantastic. I use them every single time. I use them all the time. And so there was nothing bad. My favorite item from that box was actually the Witch's Almanac that came with it for 2020, because that's just a wealth of knowledge in there, and it was the only knowledge that I had gotten from that box. So other than the information on the Hydron root. But I don't know where that book is right now. I think I might have left it at work, because I leave a book there to read on my breaks. But I will show you my favorite, my second favorite item from that box, since I don't have that book on me, and that would be the Hydron root. Let me take it out of the box, or the bag, so you can see it a little bit better. It smells like Beggin' Strips, like the dog treat. And it's just a very interesting little piece there. I liked it because it was different, and I had never received that from, or ever even seen anything like that in any of the other boxes. So those are my favorites. Now, from a beginner's perspective, based off of all the information, the list of what boxes, based off of the information, I think you should try first. We're gonna go through it pretty quickly because I just went over everything in my favorites anyway. I would say number one box you should try first would be for this month, just based off of these boxes, would probably be Sacred Space Crate being number one. I think that was the most beginner-friendly box out of all of them. But it was a really close second to the Witch's Moon and the Witch's Bounty because their paperwork described everything in detail, significant detail. And it was just, they left no room for question, really. I may have had one or two questions, I don't really know, but it wasn't anything where it wasn't anything important. All the important stuff was there. So that was 1, 2, and 3 actually. So number one is Sacred Space Crate. That's the box I would try first. Number 2 would be the Witch's Journey. Not the Witch's Journey. The Witch's Moon. The theme was the Witch's Journey. And then number 3 would be the Witch's Bounty. The only reason the Witch's Bounty is coming in third is because it's a more expensive box. Make sure that you like the Witch's Moon box first before you dive into the Witch's Bounty for jewelry that you might not know anything about. I think you need to build your apothecary and all that stuff with the Witch's Moon first before you start to get into the fun stuff. That's just the way that I see it. You could think differently. Do whatever you choose. Number 4 would definitely be Sacred Isium. That box was really great. Everything was perfectly laid out with enough information. Left me with no questions, and the theme was spot on with everything in the box. Very good for beginners. Even though I think it was that box that was actually meant for experienced witches, it was still good for beginners. You could definitely buy the highest tier box and call it a day for a beginner. And then number 5, ladies and gentlemen, was the Box of Shadows. Strictly not because I didn't like the stuff in the box, but because it didn't come with any information. So if you are a beginner, I would not go with that box just because it doesn't explain anything, or I don't want to say it doesn't teach you anything because there was a lot of information on that page. It just didn't pertain to anything that was in the box. So it didn't teach you anything about the products that they gave you. And that's basically it. Now, I do plan on continuing each of these subscription boxes. I am going to give the Box of Shadows another chance, a third chance, see what happens, see if it gets better, if it gets worse, or anything like that. And I will be doing a video like this every month to keep you posted on the changes and things like that. I will tell you that the biggest thing that sold me on Sacred Space Crate was, number 1, I had a question. I don't even remember what the question was about, but I had to email them about something like right after I bought the box. Didn't even put up my first video on here yet. And they were so kind and so nice and so helpful. Melissa herself was actually the one that contacted me, and she is the one who owns the company and basically does everything herself. And then when I had posted the video, which again was my first video on this channel, or second video, I'm sorry, first subscription box, second video, she like almost immediately contacted me afterwards, and she was so sweet and encouraging, and she really melted me. She pulled on my heartstrings a little bit, and she was just so sweet and kind, and she was basically a huge inspiration to keep on going, and she was a huge motivator, and it was really nice to have the support from her to continue doing what I am doing now. So she really sold me on it, and she really didn't even have to, because her box itself, it got me. It really got me. It was a really special box, and like I said, I think my jaw was dropped for 95% of that video. So it was really good. All right, guys, so to make it a little bit easier for you, all of these subscription boxes can be found on cratejoy.com. If you go on and you create an account on Cratejoy, you can literally just bloop, 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 add to cart, all the boxes you want. They have, that website has so much more than just the Witchy subscription boxes. It's got literally everything on there. I've seen a subscription box for socks. So there are crystal box subscriptions. There are stuff for kids. There's things for dogs and cats and pets. I think I saw something for bunnies on there. They have literally everything. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop website, and it actually simplifies everything. If you have a little bit of OCD like I do, I actually went around and went on all of the individual websites for these boxes because I don't know, I'm really weird. After I did it, I was like, shoot, I should have went on to Cratejoy and just had it all in one lump sum. But I was worried that, like, I don't know. I just don't like going through. I was worried I wasn't going to get it shipped at the same time that everybody else does. I was worried that, like, maybe, like, I wouldn't get notifications. I don't know. I just wanted to be in contact with the, like, I wanted it to be on the actual site. So some of my boxes are on Cratejoy. Some of my boxes are on the actual websites. It really doesn't matter which you choose. It all comes at the same time or around the same time anyway. Cratejoy did a really good job at getting, Cratejoy was really good. Everything was on time. Nothing was wrong with it. Pricing's all the same. It just simplified it and put it all into one instead of having to go to 5 different websites. You guys, I think that's pretty much all of the information. I don't think there's anything more I could say about these boxes. They were all in their own way really, really good. And I really can't wait to get the December boxes. Obviously Yule is coming up and I am really excited. I know a couple of the boxes have released their themes already, and I believe it is Sacred Space Crate whose theme is legitimately, it's Yule. I know the Witch's Moon released their themes for December's boxes, and I don't know the theme of that one off the top of my head. I try not to look at the themes because it kind of ruins the surprise, I don't know, the surprise aspect of opening the boxes. But if you know the theme, it's not like it's gonna be like, you know, oh, I know everything that's in the box. So it really doesn't matter if you know the theme or not. I will tell you this. I did actually add a couple of subscription boxes to the list. So the month of November, I did not get the Witch's Roots, which is the 3rd subscription box that the Witch's Moon offers. So they have the Witch's Moon, they have the Witch's Bounty, they have the Witch's Roots. The Witch's Roots is all about building the apothecary aspect of your craft. So I neglected to do that because when I saw it, it wasn't the most thrilling box to me. I wanted the boxes that had the cool jewelry and the cool stuff that came in it. And as I was going, I realized, well, as a beginner, it's probably better to build your apothecary rather than, you know, your jewelry. Like, let's get your working tools, your herbs, your oils, all that stuff. And I do know that the amount of herbs and oils that you get in the Witch's Roots is bigger than the other boxes. So that is really exciting to me. I can't wait to get that box and give you my thoughts on that. So now I will have all 3 of the boxes from the Witch's Moon. And I also signed up for the Witch's Box, which I did some research on that, and they give you like big full mason jars full of herbs. They give you the fun stuff along with the herbs, along with the candles, all that stuff. And I haven't seen a bad review of that box yet. I think those are the only 2 boxes that I added for December, so that should take us from 5 to 7 boxes. And again, I paid for these boxes with my own money. So we'll see what they have to offer, and then we'll incorporate them into our lovely monthly favorites video at the end of December for that. I will, another thing that I wanted to include was the order that I filmed the videos on the boxes was literally the order that I got the boxes in. So Sacred Space Crate literally came on like the 1st or 2nd of November. It was here immediately. After that, I think, was the Witch's Moon. Still the beginning of November. The Witch's Bounty came like a week or so after that. I believe the Box of Shadows then came closer to like mid-November, and I believe Sacred Isium came the latest. So that's another thing to think about as well, especially with these boxes that are theming their rituals around a holiday like a Sabbat or an Esbat. You got to be careful, because if you get the box too late, well, then you can't use it for the Esbat or Sabbat. So timing is everything. I like that Sacred Space Crate and the Witch's Moon, they thought about that and made sure that, like, hey, this is supposed to be a monthly subscription box that you're supposed to get so that you can use it for the month that we're giving it to you for. So let's give it to them in the beginning of the month. Some of the other ones, they lagged a little bit and came in like halfway through the month or like towards the end of the month, which that's not helpful. If you want us to use it in the month of November, how about you give us the whole month of November to use it instead of like a week and a half? You know, so just another food for thought. All right, you guys, so I think that's it for this video. Hopefully this helped you make your decision on what box to start off with. Again, you can go look at all my other reviews on the actual boxes and the items that are in it. They are more in depth, more detail on each individual box. I have some awesome videos coming in the future that are more geared towards evolving and increasing our knowledge on the craft. I have been saying how I want to do videos on each type of witch that's out there, which who knew there was more than one, you know? So we're gonna do a video on that, but it takes a lot of research and I want to make sure that I do it all. And you know, I'm a single mom. I got 2 pups and a baby boy. He's not a baby anymore, but I have a full-time job, so it's a little difficult to pump these videos out as quickly as I want to, but they are coming and I am gonna put that out there for everybody. I just want to make sure that I do all the research that is required so that we leave nothing out. Other than that, I don't think I have anything left to say except thank you for joining me. I would love to see some comments down below what you think of each box. If you have the same opinions of me, maybe I missed something. If you have a box that you want to see a review on, leave it down below. I have no problems trying them out for you. I am trying to stay away from the ones that are like, you know, they could be for basically anybody who likes crystals or is into like holistic healing or things like that. I'm trying to keep them towards the witch-based ones. Like we have boxes like Lunarly and Goddess Provisions and things like that, that they could basically work for any female that wants to feel empowered. Or Lunarly is about, you know, plants and things like that. It's not fully witch-based. There's a little bit, not fully though. I want to kind of focus these videos. Maybe we'll add them on later and do reviews, but I'm trying to keep it very witch-based. I did find a whole bunch of other subscription boxes that I do want to eventually try, but I think we're gonna kind of like, when we let one go, then we'll add another one and try that out. There is another box that I am really intrigued by, and there's actually two boxes that I'm really intrigued by. So we'll get into that when we get to that point. Until then, please make sure you like this video if you liked it, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna put the button right up here. Go ahead, click it. I'll wait. Did you do it yet? All right, you guys, I will see you next time in my next video. Peace out, guys.